validation from others. When we need validation from others, our brain releases dopamine, which is like an addiction to feeling good but from others. However, if we can embrace solitude, and I mean true solitude, which is different from loneliness, our brain will release sustainable serotonin, GABA, and anandamide, which is a bliss molecule that keeps us contented, joyful, and peaceful. When your focus is on others and the attention they give to you, you may have to go through the painful lessons of disappointments, betrayals, depression, and bouts of emotional ups and downs, riding on a roller coaster ride on their emotional output of you. For what? Do you need to? The greatest wisdom one can give to themselves is to give up proving to others. True security lies in keeping silent and not trying to prove your point to others. Others have their own eyes to see what kind of person you are. Mature individuals do not need to explain themselves, as there is not a need to do this. To people who know you well, you do not need to prove yourself because they know you. For people who do not know you, the more you explain yourself, the more they feel you're trying to hide something or cover up something. Especially if you're the odd one out as compared to others, it is necessary to practice silence and allow time to prove it for you. The reason is, people tend to view matters according to their own perspective of how they would react and may think the way they first thought would be how you would react also. It may not be the representative of how you would be, since this is how they would think and not you. Truth be told, and on the other side of the coin, have you ever been in a situation where you feel good and happy when others agree with you, sing praises about you, like to talk to you, and be near you? You feel good about it when that happened. Conversely, what happens when their focus is no longer on you? You suddenly start to have conflicting thoughts like, why are they not the same? They don't like me anymore? What did I do wrong? These racing thoughts suddenly arise and your peace is rocked. Think about this for a moment. Why do you need to give your peace and security away to others and let others be the one to decide whether you feel good about yourself or not? Isn't it ironic that your self-assurance and confidence had to come from someone else instead of yourself from within? The way we are reacting towards others is a reflection of how we interpret it, and deep down, there may be a connection to what it means to you. An example to explain further would be, if someone came to you on the street and said, "You are a pig," I suppose you would be a little surprised and upset with this person, right? Why? But if this scenario changed where you had been asked if you were of another nationality, would you be angry or upset with this person? I don't think so, right? Why would you be upset with the earlier scenario and not this? Well, that is because in your mind, a pig is classified as being stupid or viewed as lower in value. On the other hand, in that scenario where your nationality is being questioned, you will not be upset. The most that will happen is your curiosity as to why they would think that way of you. You will probably be wondering if you look like a foreigner, but would most definitely not be upset. Now, let's change the scenario again. Suppose if this time you are being questioned in a foreign native language, why do you look like a thief? Will you be upset or angry? I guess the answer would be a no, since you do not understand the language. The words don't carry any meaning to you as there is no connection to you. It is the meaning and identification you give that matters. It is what and how you perceive that matters. So, why does it matter what others say of you if you do not identify with it, right? In a similar manner, whenever you get triggered by what others say of you, this is a time to reflect and do shadow work to heal those hidden parts of your psyche since it triggered something in you. At any point in our life, there were bound to be moments of loneliness and perhaps even helplessness. There will be obstacles and hardships which push us on our arduous, challenging journey. However, we need to understand this. None of us were born strong, but we became strong through countless trials and sufferings that we encountered in our life, which shaped us and made us resilient and hopefully wiser. We also have to understand one fact, which is that what you possess is what you have put in the effort to have. It doesn't drop from the sky, nor was it through magic. Your career, your asset, your money, and even intangible attributes like patience, courage, determination, strength, peace, your maintenance of relationships, etc. All these require conscious, consistent effort in building and nurturing. There may be examples of lucky windfalls which may be observed in others' life, but know this, my friend. Unorthodox windfalls through manipulation are not sustained types of abundance as they are not aligned with the divine will. For example, doing an unrighteous type of living at the expense of harming others or animals, even if it is legit in the eyes of earthly laws. This way of earning money is unlawful in the eyes of the divine, and thus, honestly, deep down, do you think it will be sustainable and blessed? Keep yourself in check and question yourself whenever you feel disappointed by others, and why is it important how you look to them? Ask yourself, does it matter how they think of me? And why does it matter to me? As the Chinese saying goes, man's doing on earth, the sky is watching. Who we should truly be concerned with how we are being looked at is those watching from heaven. If we are concerned with how we look by others who are just like you and me, we are essentially under the control of our ego. Our egoic nature is the one who is concerned with how others look at us, how much we have so that we'll appear to be higher in status to others, or how big our house is so that we'll be envied by others. It is a hollow and meaningless pursuit since it will not fulfill our soul's desire and we are seeking in the wrong direction. The root of this insecurity stems from fear. The relentless chasing of money, status, and assets at the expense of true and meaningful significance like relationships with others, morality, wisdom, and peace will bring you back to this earth school again. It is ultimately our soul's goal to navigate this earth experience, accumulating intangible attributes instead of tangible possessions, which eventually we will have to leave behind. We forgot that we are here in this lifetime temporarily, and whatever we accumulated were never those tangible physical possessions that we regarded like treasures. We forgot that it is the knowledge and wisdom we had learned from the experiences we had gone through which were ultimately going to live with us and retain within our soul that promises higher progression in our next soul journey. You forget and allow ignorance to propel you to behave in the way that will eventually bring you right back to this earth school for your retake in this earth test. And mind you, it will be a harder incarnation since the lessons are supposed to compound to make it harder and harder for you, to shape you to look within. Why do you want to allow others to take away your happiness? Why do you want to allow others to take away your power? If you did not consent to anything or anyone, nobody can cause any misery to you, not unless you allow them to. The minute you understand that you are giving away your power to someone else by constantly waiting for their approval of you, is the minute you regain your own sanity and sovereignty. Let's start to go within and do our inner work instead of being concerned about what is external of us. Stop seeking outward and start to look inward. When you start to build from within and create a strong foundation, nothing will rock you. Having said that, going inward doesn't mean detaching from others totally and think it's alright to live a monastic lifestyle. It is about staying centered from within and having the wisdom to navigate your life in the outside world. Once your inner landscape is beautiful and peaceful, your outer landscape miraculously aligns accordingly. All the answers you need are all waiting from within you. This is the step to your own evolution. Take control of your own life, moving on and forward with peace, balance, and wisdom.